What's up, everyone? Brian from PB&J here. Today I'm going to talk about Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch. So, just a little bit of history of my experience with Nintendo. The first game console my dad got for me was the NES, and it was bundled with Super Mario Brothers, the first one, the original one. So that was my first experience playing a Mario game, and since then I've played almost every single Mario game. I have to admit, not to completion for some of the later ones, but I did play through one, two, three, Super Mario World on SNES, and I played a little bit of the Galaxy and Sunshine and all those other ones. So they were all fun. It's just that during my teenage to early college years, I kind of moved away from the Mario games and played other games instead, more of the like Japanese RPG games and other stuff that were coming out on PlayStation and things like that. So when I picked up the Switch, the two games I had to buy right away were Breath of the Wild, because I'm a huge Zelda fan, and the other one was Super Mario Odyssey because of all the awesome positive reviews of the game. And my buddy John, who's also part of PB&J, he would always ask me, "Hey, when are you going to start playing Zelda?" Since he knows that I'm a huge Zelda fan, so it made sense for me to be playing that first, right? But no, I mean, I've dabbled with it so far. I'm still very early in the game. Maybe if I go through 100% of that game, I'll put something out, but that'll be a long time from now. But I kept going back to Mario just because the game was so fun. It's easy to pick up. I don't need to sit down and dedicate hours at a time to play the game like I mentally have to for Zelda. I can just pick up the game here for Mario, play it for 15 minutes if I want, put it down, just put the Switch on standby, and then pick it up again and continue, or just go for the moons that I'm missing. So it's very easy to pick it up and put it down, which made it a lot more accessible for me to play, instead of thinking of, oh man, if I just start up Zelda, I'm going to have to play for 3 hours just to get something worthwhile out of it. And the game is just so well taken care of. It's well designed. They put so much care into the game. There's a lot of parts in the game where they switch from 3D to 2D, and the cool part is like the music goes from like stereo sound to 8-bit sound without missing a beat. So it's continuously playing, but it switches to 8-bit mode for the music. And whatever costume you're wearing, even the new costumes that are out, once you jump into the 2D pipe, you're still wearing that outfit. So they had to like create like 8-bit versions of every costume that they've put out, which is really cool. And just like any Mario game, they have different worlds. And so this one, it starts with the Hat World, and then you go from water to like a Bowser world, and like an ice one. So you get like pretty much all the elements. And so the cool thing about this game is that it's accessible for kids. So I can see someone who was my like a 5 or 6 year old playing this game, and just to get their feet wet, because the game is pretty easy if you want to just play through all the basic stuff. But you can also go extreme, and which is like what I did by collecting everything and doing every single thing that the game has to offer. So there are 4 endings to the game. So the first one, all you have to do is just collect about 150 moonish around there, which is not very hard. You can just go through the stories, go through all the worlds that they guide you to, and you can easily finish the game probably in 10 to 15 hours. And then there's a second ending where you collect all the moons, 999, and then you'll get the other ending. And then there's another one where you pass the darker side of the moon part, and you'll get another ending from there. So, and then there's like another more advanced Bowser fight. So you get a slightly different ending from there, but it's just it depends on how far you want to go. But they've set up these checkpoints where you can just play the game, and if you feel like you once you beat the first checkpoint ending, if you feel like you want to move on from that, and that's fine. Like they still offered you a lot of stuff, but if you want to dig more into it and collect all the moons and do all the other things that the game has to offer, it's well worth your time. I mean, I was very frustrated in some parts of the game, especially the jump rope part and some of the moons that you have to collect on the dark side of the moon, where you have to make these perfect jumps to jump over these blocks and like these invisible areas on while dodging like these poison like mud, whatever you call it, that the piranhas spit out at you. So there are some very frustrating and challenging part, but as everyone will tell you, just don't give up, keep playing. And like I'm a very slow learner when it comes to video games, and you know if I can pass it, I think anyone can. It's doable. Just don't give up and keep trying, and you'll eventually get it. And the thing is, it's not frustrating to the point where you want to just like throw your controller or anything like that. It just takes practice, and you can see as you're playing that you're slowly getting better. So the game is not that punishing in that way. But they did put in the darker side of the moon level where it's just one long level, which I call it's like the final exam of the Super Mario Odyssey game, where you have to put into all the skills you've learned in the game, from jumping, rolling, just learning how to survive, dodging, and at the end you just climb this really high pole to collect the moons, and it's just the music like just becomes really serene. It's just an awesome like level. I mean, it's very frustrating to get there, but once you get there, everything slows down, and it's just something that where you want to just take your time and just look around and appreciate like what you've accomplished in a game. So really amazing stuff. And then the game also has a live band with Pauline singing the Mario song, which they also played at the Games Award. Just awesome stuff. Like when I first got the game, I opened up the case and had the lyrics to the song. I mean, at the point I didn't know what it was, but once I got to New Donk City and I got to that festival level, that level was just amazing. I have some clips in here while I'm talking, but it's just to play through that level. It's not hard, but you go from 2D mode and you're just jumping over the barrels from Donkey Kong, and it's just a huge festival with live music and everything. It's just like really, really cool stuff. Anyway, outside of collecting all 999 moons, beating the dark side of the moon and the darker side of the moon, there's also the purple coins that you collect throughout the worlds that you can use to buy souvenirs for your Odyssey ship. So I've collected all of that as well as like all the music tracks, and all the everything that Cappy can control. So yeah, that's pretty much like all the things that you can do in the game. Oh, and getting all the new costumes that comes out, and you can just buy the store of coins, so you can just farm coins for that at one of the Bowser pipes that you can jump in, and that's the best way to farm coins. But yeah, a lot of stuff to do in there. If you want to just get the full experience of the game and do everything, you can probably do it in like 60 to 70 hours. I'm a very slow player. I die a lot. I suck at games. So it probably took me, I didn't count it. I don't know if the game has a counter. I need to look more closely, but it must have taken me at least like over 100 hours. But I enjoyed every single minute of it. There's some games I kind of where I get to the point where, okay, I'm so close, but I don't really want to play anymore, but I'm really close to getting everything, so I'll just like push through it. But with this one, I was actually bummed when I got to the end, because there was nothing else for me to do. I mean, I can still run through the same levels if I want just to play it. But in terms of like things to do or collect, I pretty much did all of it. And at the time of recording, I see that there may be a DLC coming out, so I'm going to be looking forward to that. Even if they just add a world that adds another hour or two of gameplay, I'm all for it. So great game. If if you're on the fence about getting a Switch and you need a game that can put you over, on top of all the new announcements that are coming out like Smash Brothers and things like that, Mario should be enough for you to pick up a Switch. And if you do pick up a Switch, you should probably pick up a this as well, like Mario. It's more accessible to everyone than Zelda. I think Zelda, you have to be a type of player who wants to play like that type of game. But with Mario, anyone can play it from any age. It's easy to play. It's fun. There's a lot of like really silly things in there. A lot of really cool attention to detail, like I said earlier. So I can't say it's like the best game of the year for me last year because there were so many good games, but I would give it a 10 out of 10. It's that good. It's like in the top 3 games for me for the past year. I mean, there's still a lot of other great games if I need to put like an all-time greatest type of list type of thing, but this game was really up there. I really enjoyed it. So if you haven't played it, like go out and get it. If you've played it but you didn't go play through the whole thing, I would urge you or recommend that you kind of go back and do all the other stuff in the game. If there's nothing else for you to play, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff coming out soon, like with God of War and things like that. So it's totally worth it. It's worth the time to just like go back and play it if you have the time. And I have to give a shout out to this YouTuber Underbuff for creating all these like really great quality videos on where to get all the moons. Like his videos really saved me from finding all the remaining ones. So I gotta give him a shout out. I'll even put in a link to his videos, and that should help out everyone. He links out he breaks up every single moon on his summary page where he puts a description for the video, so you can just click on the timestamp and it'll take you right there. And it's broken down into separate videos, so it's not one giant video. It's broken down into like 1 hour or half hour chunks, and also by world. So it's very useful. So follow it if you want to collect all the moons and have a great time playing the game. So until next time, I'll see if there's anything else I can dig up to write a review about. I'm thinking of doing something else that's outside video game. So stay tuned and we'll see. All right. Take care.